Hi YouTube, VidHead85 here. Can we talk for a minute? Alright, thank you. Let me talk to you about a shithole nation. If you really want to see what a shithole nation is, maybe you should look on the UN's website and see what they say about the US. We have the highest rate of persons incarcerated per capita of any nation. We're number one. Carbon emissions are horrid. And yet we still have a corrupt government that is bought and paid for by businesses, which in fact corporate and state power together build fascism. Not only that, but a shithole nation has a leader that doesn't mind saying that white supremacists are good people. A shithole nation doesn't have health care as a right for all of its citizens. A shithole nation doesn't offer women or parents paid family leave. A shithole nation also doesn't offer tuition-free college. Even though that country is so-called the richest country in the history of the world, it does not guarantee a lot of those things that so-called, at least from American standpoint, socialist countries offer their citizens as a birthright. Even though they are popular, even though people know that they will work, it is, sorry, it won't work in America because we're so exceptional that we can't possibly learn from other countries. If you want to talk about a shithole country, let's talk about what the UN just said about Alabama, that it is third world poverty in that state. Let's also talk about the fact that we have a lot of students in this country that are going to school for a free lunch, and for some of those districts that don't have free lunch, if their parents fall short, they can't eat, and they throw out the food in front of them. And not only that, but we waste so much food in this country that we could have cured world hunger 10 times over. That's what a shithole nation does. A shithole nation doesn't have election integrity. How in the world, in this so-called free country, are we unable to verify our elections? Because these scanners and all these voting machines are made by private companies. Why is it that this country is more worried about Democrats being elected than the election integrity that we're supposed to be talking about? We are not the greatest country in the world. We need to build a mirror and look at our own damn selves. We have seniors, we have the most vulnerable of our people in this country not being taken care of because they're going to be dependent. Screw that. So what? Why is it so egregious to have a social floor beneath which no one is able to fall? Why is it that in said shithole nation, the leader of the country calls white supremacists good people, and people who are taking a knee to protest racism as sons of SOBs? That's a shithole nation. That's a shithole nation. And yet, we have the 200 some year so-called representative republic has the nerve to call other countries that are not even yet 100 years old, independent by the way, shithole countries. A shithole country that has been at war for less than 20 years of its existence, not at war. There has probably only been a handful of years that we have not been at war in this country. Shithole Nation. So like I said, we're talking about building walls. We're talking about deporting people who have only known this country. Shithole country. Let's stop talking about this bullshit. We need to rise big time. Because if anything, this is the backdrop of the French Revolution. This is the backdrop of revolutions, because corruption has always been what has brought down great nations. If we can't look at ourselves and admit the deficiencies, like Flint doesn't have clean water, like the fact that hydrofracking has polluted the water, like the fact that people with money have bought power in this country so that they can be beyond the law. Talk about shithole country. Talk about shithole country. We have media that is so biased because of a president who decided to repeal most New Deal regulations and got us into this bullshit, this neoliberalism. But then again, for me to call it out and to say that we need to wipe that slate clean is me being a Russia bot. I'm tired of corruption. I don't care if they're Democrats or Republicans. I'm tired of corruption. Corruption is what brings down nations. That is the bottom line. We need to cut the shit. Because, like it or not, we're living in a shithole nation. Thank you.